Today, we're talking camp kitchen basics. What you need, like a good stove. What you might want, like a fold-out cooking and cleaning surface, like this Amazon kitchen here. And what you better just leave at home, like whatever the hell this thing is. If this makes pancakes faster, I'm taking it. Now, when it comes to cooking at camp, I was a holdout for years. I never wanted to buy and store all of the stuff that it takes to have a nice meal in the woods because, well, I'm lazy. It's a lot of stuff, and I'd rather be on the trail than car camping, to be perfectly honest. I've never been an ultralight backpacker or a minimalist car camper, and those survivalist people, they scare the crap out of me.
Thermal imagery cameras, motion detectors, early detection systems of all kinds. You know what I use? Bird feeders.
But really, I just didn't want to lug all this stuff out into the woods and spend my whole weekend trying to keep it clean and organized whilst cooking over a dirt floor. I was perfectly happy just boiling some water for freeze-dried food and bringing a couple sandwiches for the short time that I would spend at the car before heading into the woods. And something changed. Yeah, so I've got kids now, and I spend way less time backpacking and way more time car camping. It's great. It's good. It's okay. I like it. Let's move on. With the new family in tow, we needed a way to make pancakes in the woods. Thus, the car camping kitchen was born. Well, ours anyways. So you really only need 3 things to cook in the woods. A stove, some kitchenwares, pots, pans, spatulas, and a work surface of some sort. You don't need to spend a ton of money to eat really well, and you don't need whatever the heck this thing is. So let's start off with the central piece of any car camping kitchen, the stove. Now, there's a ton of options out there. You got the classic old Coleman that you can pick up used for $30 all day long on Craigslist, all the way up to the fancy JETBOIL Genesis that boils up a pot of pasta faster than a knife fight in a phone booth. I got that joke off the internet. Sorry. Check out my review of the Genesis and other specific gear I own in the links below. There's a whole universe of mini barbecues out there, and they seem to have a devoted following. A friend of mine who overlands uses a grill with a griddle on it for just about everything. But to be honest, I never use them. I love grilled meat, but I just try to keep it simple, and a barbecue just isn't as versatile or efficient as a stove unless you're using it for what it was intended for. And on that note, if I wanted to grill meat in the woods, I could just throw it on one of these for $20 and not too much storage space and call it a day. What I wouldn't recommend are the style that you need to add liquid gas to. These guys are still on the market because propane doesn't work so good when it's really cold or at high elevations, and some parts of the world just don't have Walmarts. But let's be honest, if you're the kind of dude looking for a stove that works above 10,000 feet or in Somalia, this ain't your channel. I would stick to stoves that use propane canisters because you can get them anywhere, they're safe and easy. You can even refill them at home with your barbecue tank. You really don't want a can of white gas coming open in the back of your SUV when you're bouncing down a forest road at 45 miles an hour. At the end of the day, there's a lot of options, but you really just need something that can boil water and you can plop a frying pan onto. With that in mind, let's take a look at what sort of kitchenwares you might need. Now, just like the home kitchen, there is a gadget for every unneeded desire in the camp kitchen world also. I'm a video producer, and in my world, there's a saying that goes something like, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Now, when it comes to camping, and especially backpacking, that's a stupid notion. It's exactly the sort of sentiment that causes people to buy a ton of cheap crap on Amazon, drag it out into the woods, spend 48 miserable hours wrestling around with it before giving up and leaving it all next to the dumpster at their campground on Sunday. Keep it simple. most of last season, I only used a griddle. Griddle is a great option for families because it increases the cooking surface across the burners, giving you a little bit extra room in the middle by bridging the gap. It's great for breakfast, but you can also whip up fajitas or burgers, grilled sandwiches, whatever you can order at a diner can be made on a griddle. So if you keep that in mind, it can kind of open up a lot of possibilities for you. Another good option is a simple, tall-rimmed frying pan. It gives you the same options, but adds versatility and allows you to boil water for cleanup and coffee. If you have the room, a real pot would be a great option for boiling up a big batch of pasta, heating up stew, or helping out with quick cleanup. After that, you just need a few basics. I find a spatula does just about everything. I like to toss a small pair of tongs in my kit, and a good knife and cutting board is pretty essential too. There's a whole world of cheap kits out there on Amazon. We got this one for about 30 bucks, and it had just about everything, but then we added some measuring cups, my tongs, and a few other things, but it came with most of the essentials, and it fits in a nice, tidy little package. It's colorful too. All right, last but not least, you just need somewhere to put all this stuff when you cook. Now, the easiest way to handle this is the picnic table that you get for free at most campgrounds, but I'm not much of a campground person, although it can be entertaining to watch Larry from Kansas cleaning his skivvies at the communal faucet. I prefer the relative quiet and solitude of a forest road in the middle of nowhere. If I know I'm dispersed camping, I'll always bring some sort of table for cooking and eating. You can use anything from a small folding table, the bed of your truck, the top of a gearbox. Be careful if it's plastic, of course. There's lots of options. My favorite are those really cool collapsible aluminum tables. I got one on REI for about 85 bucks, and it's big enough to cook and feed the entire family on. They come in all sorts of sizes and are available at your favorite camping outlet. Now, if you really want to get cushy, you can pick up one of these collapsible kitchens like we got on Amazon for about 75 bucks. We absolutely love it. It's great to be able to leave the kitchen stuff all in one place and free up the big table for the family to hang out around. And it's also great to keep the kids away from the food and fire while you're cooking. Now, after dinner, you're gonna need a few things to clean up. A roll of paper towels, a nylon scrubber, and some dish soap work great. That's all you need, really. You can add extras like a collapsible wash basin, but we bought this one 5 years ago and have literally never used it. We just wash everything in one of the pots. Yeah, this is going to go. That's it. That's all you really need to make some great meals in the woods. Check out the links below for related videos on stuff I mentioned in this video. If you think that this was not a total train wreck, subscribe, like, share, do whatever people do. If you think this was a total waste of time, there's a comment section at the bottom. We'll see you next time.